I'm Dylan Hughes, Formula Drift Pro driver, and me and my dad have had a dream for over a decade of going 200 miles an hour on the Bonneville salt flats on a motorcycle. Follow along, this is Permatex FlatOut200. We are here at Orange County Honda Kawasaki, and we are gonna hopefully go in there and see if we can find a land speed bike that we're gonna take to Bonneville here pretty quick. We don't even know if they have one. We just figured we'd come over here, check it out, look at some cool bikes, and of course maybe see some dirt bikes, because I'm pretty into that as well. So let's go inside and see what they got.
This is the one we were looking at.
Right, this is the other one. This is my girl right here. If I was gonna get one, it'd be that one right there. Brand new 21 K450, electric start, launch control. Yeah, dude, this thing is, I rode one of these last week and it gets it. It like really gets it. Look at all the stuff on this thing, dude. Cruise control, and this thing is big. We would have to take all this stuff off and put like a aftermarket fairing on it. Like all this stuff would have to go.
Don't you think this one would work?
I really feel like it would. Like titanium exhaust, 1000cc, ready to go race bike. This thing definitely makes 200 to the tire. Like, what if we just don't do anything and we just like buy this? Okay, Bank of America, we ran around the street. Apparently they don't like credit cards there, so we have to go get a cashier's check. So we're here at the bank, we're gonna grab this check. Hopefully it's easy, and then we're gonna go right back there. We're gonna grab that bike, do a little bit of paperwork, and then they're gonna send it over to their shop. Their shop is gonna do whatever it is they have to do to it, and then we're gonna ride that baby out of here. We got the funds, brother.
Yeah.
That was actually fairly painless. I thought for sure it was gonna take forever, but we're on our way back to the dealership. It's 1.5 miles away. Let's do it.
That thing's insane.
Insane. That's what we're looking for. All right, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yeah, not a problem.
Do I have to like not run the piss out of it for a while or what?
For 600 miles, I would like go through the rev range, make sure you don't get the metal too hot. Just kind of go up and down, give it some time to rest, and then after 600 miles, change out the oil. Then after that, blow right through it.
Sick.
Yeah. That's what I recommend.
So we have to be nice to it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be so loud. It started! I don't know why I'm surprised. This is crazy, let's go! So we were definitely a little bit bummed out when we couldn't get that bike out of the Northwest. That one seemed like the easiest, best route to go with, but that just wasn't an option for us. So really we started doing a whole bunch of research trying to figure out what was gonna make the most sense, whether we were gonna do, Busa, or, we're gonna go buy a GSXR or whatever it was gonna be, we didn't know. So we just started doing a bunch of research, and it turns out Kawasaki came out with this insane bike called the H2. There's a couple different versions of it, a couple different variants of it, and this right here is what we landed on. This is called the Kawasaki ZH2. So this is a 1000cc supercharged motorcycle. This thing makes just shy of 200 horsepower to the wheels, and it feels like it. So the thing with this bike is we went out to the showroom floor and we bought it brand spanking new. So we rolled this thing out of there and I rode it back, and the first time I rode it, I like got off of it thinking, how is this legal? How do they sell this to people? Like, it's unbelievable. So apparently when you buy a brand new bike, you're supposed to put like 600-ish miles on it before you can actually like wood on it properly. So I gotta ride this thing around apparently, which is like, oh, boo-hoo, poor me, huh?
Would you rather go 200 on a motorcycle or go do that?
I will go 200, I mean right this minute, like right now, before I would do that. That was so gnarly. These dudes are getting like pounded out there. Like, it's just crazy because you can stand here and look at it and you're like, wow, it's a big wave, But dude, imagine being underneath that thing. Like, that's like a 20-foot tall, 15-foot tall pile of water coming at you. Like, it's so gnarly. So trying to be nice to it, so we need to put about 600 miles on it to get the engine broken in, so we need to swap all the fluids out of it once we've reached that point. So I've just been riding the thing around trying to get used to it, and that's been fun. for sure, to say the least. It's like I said, like I can't even put in words what it feels like. And of course I had to get my dad on it, have him go ride it around. And when I mean this thing is fast, I mean this thing is fast. Like a 1,000 wheel horsepower drift car is gnarly, but this thing, you're like outside, you know? Like you're just holding on, and that's the only thing that you got. There's no seat, there's no roll cage. You have to hold on for sure.
Dylan, absolute maniac for what he's trying to do on a motorcycle. I know I wouldn't do it, but that's on him.
200 wheel horsepower is right about on the limit of maybe being able to make 200 miles an hour on the Bonneville salt flats. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to turn this thing up even just a little bit more. So I found a couple different guys, one guy in the Northwest, one guy from Ohio or something, that makes essentially an ECU flash for it, where I've been told that it will start to close the throttle bodies at 8,000 RPM and essentially try and like dumb it down a little bit. And they do that because this thing is just terrifyingly fast. So what we can do is we can change the ignition map, and we can change how the throttle bodies are open. And I've heard of several people getting 260 horsepower out of these bikes without doing anything. So this bike, it was $20,000 brand new, which is a lot of money, but at least we get the brand new bike. Nobody's been in it before, nobody's messed around with it before, you know, we know the history of it, we know I was nice on it breaking it in, and I'm really stoked on that. So the other thing is we got to figure out how to set a body kit on this thing. So we went down to San Diego, went and got the AirTag body kit, got that ordered, which I'm really stoked on. We'll be able to kind of rig that thing up on there and completely change the way the bike looks and try and make it as slippery as possible, because this thing's, you know, it definitely doesn't have a fairing on it. It's kind of open and a little bit naked in that sense. So it's definitely not the most aerodynamic, but moving forward, I think once we get that AirTag body kit on it, the thing is going to be slippery as all get out. So really stoked on this thing, man. Just been kind of getting used to it. I mean, really, I feel like I really need to take it to a track day to truly grasp what this thing can do, because at no point riding this thing on the street can you hold it on the throttle stop for any extended periods of time. I mean, it will easily pull the front tire off the ground.
Is it fast?
It's so good. It's so good. Effortless. Like, the fact that these are legal kind of blows my mind. Like, in a great, awesome way. So good. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Pretty amazing machine overall. You know, I haven't spent a whole lot of time riding sport bikes, but I get why people do it. I mean, it's a whole nother level of like tunnel vision video game when you're riding this thing. Like, it's pretty gnarly. So looking forward to spending some more time on it, and I want to take it to the track real bad. That would be sick. You know, lean the thing over proper, get the leathers on, and just kind of get used to it. You know, like I said, I haven't spent a whole lot of time on a sport bike, and I think going in a straight line is probably fairly easy, hopefully, but really just knowing what the bike is gonna do in pretty much all circumstances is what I'm looking for. So I wanna get comfortable leaning it over. I wanna try and touch my knee on the ground, do that kind of stuff before we take this thing fully apart and put the body kit on it, because once we do that, I don't think there's gonna be any sort of leaning it over anytime soon. So, and that's just for me. I just wanna go get used to it. But really overall pretty stoked. I never bought a brand new motorcycle. I haven't really bought anything that's worth that much just in like one go, you know what I mean? So it's a wild machine, I'll tell you that. I wish everybody could ride it, because it is terrifying in a good way.
Not even freaking.
I mean, barely touching it. I haven't even revved it past 7 grand. It's crazy.
So she got plenty of power, eh?
It's got the balls for sure. It's got some juice to it, yeah.
All right, so we got a bike, a real fast one. We got a suit, a real safe one. We got a bunch of the key components for this build, and we got a body kit coming for it, which is gonna be sick. And looking to get more comfortable on this thing and then take it apart and make it all slippery so we can go 200. So thanks for following along. This is Permatex FlatOut200.